Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is LaMonica with Voices of Veterans True Stories.
I'm Michael Fitzmaurice. I live right by Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I come here about every year for this event, and I'm so honored to be able to come here and visit with you. I don't know what you want to know, but I'll make something up. So, when I graduated high school in 1969, none of you were even born. After high school graduation, myself and 3 other fellows went down and signed up for the military. I went Army, there was 2 Marines and 1 Navy guy. And I'm the only one that had to go to Vietnam. In 1970, I was across the pond, and I think I was what they call helicopter assault nowadays. We flew in and shot stuff up in the jungle and done all. And I only had 2 months left in Vietnam, and they said, well, we'll put you out on Khe Sanh, which was an old Marine base, which they opened up again when they were going into Laos with the Army. So all I had to do was guard the airstrip. The helicopters were in the middle and we were around the outside. On the night that I was hurt, I just got off a guard, went back to where we were sleeping, and already the mortars and the rockets started coming in, so my one buddy and I was already dressed, and I don't know what he was doing, but we headed to the fighting position, and then a sapper, which is like they're highly trained, well, more like suicide bombers, blew the bunker behind us and buried the rest of the guys. And Phil and I is out here in this little hole that ain't, well, about as long as that table. We're talking about here with a bunch of sandbags over the top, and then everything was connected with trench about neck high, all our holes. And I happened to look out, and I see somebody coming. I thought, well, maybe that. So I didn't shoot him up. But then he threw in a hand grenade, and I got two out, and then the third one I just flopped over. I figured that's it. But I had my buddy behind me, so we wanted him to get out. Luckily, it just blew me out of the hole. I had a flak vest, and then it was downhill from there. We just kept fighting till I think, I don't know what time they come in, 5 in the morning and got us out. And so I was a very lucky guy. So, anybody got any questions?
How did it feel when you received your medal?
I had never been out of the state except when I Fitzmaurice out in Colorado. Then I was discharged right out of the hospital back to civilian life. Any of you guys going to the military? Not even thinking about it, huh?
I got one right here.
Thinking
Air Force. You don't want to be a bullet stopper. You're going to learn something in the Air Force, or all the services got jobs you can go learn, but a lot of times they want to put you up there where I was, and that's not good. Anybody.
What would you have done if you didn't go in the Army or the Marines?
I'd have probably been sawing up pigs.
Was it hard to readjust to civilian life after?
I'm sorry?
Was it hard to readjust back into a routine after?
No, I came from a very in South Dakota, we haven't got 1 million people in the whole state. So my little town had 100 people. I came home, everybody was out to meet me, and they had a big dinner, and a lot of people in other places weren't that lucky, but I was, yes,
Would you suggest going to the military? Like, would you recommend it?
would I suggest it? If you're getting the right one, yeah. No, it's good. I mean, I don't regret it, and I would do it again. I wouldn't change a thing. But you can do a lot of stuff these days that we never had.
How long after the battle did you get your medal?
I was out, well, the action was the 23rd of March, 71, and I was out of the military for, I think, 2 years. So I think about 1973 is when they called and said I would be put in.
If you could go back, would you do it all over again?
Oh, me.
Like join the military?
Yes, I would. Because it was a good, on the most part, it's a good experience. You meet people that you stay friends with for life. Over there, everybody took care of each other. I mean, it was watched out really good. It was a good feeling to know you had people behind you.
Who gave you your medal? And like, what was the day?
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
November or something or other, but who was it?
Nixon.
You don't know him, huh?
He does.
Richard Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you know?
Not much.
I'm the same way. So, anybody else got anything they want to know?
How'd you know you were getting deployed?
How did I know? Well, they do it different back then. Right out of AIT, which is their basic, and then AIT is where you learn what you're going to be doing. I was trained as a armored recon, drive these little tracks, but when I got to Vietnam, they had walked into the ambush, so they took, you're going to the 101st, which was a good thing for me because I hated tracks. And it turned out pretty well. Well, you know.
Not much.
You gotta have a question, huh?
What made you want to join the military?
Just because my whole family had served. And I wasn't thinking too clearly because I didn't even think about Vietnam then, but
Was Vietnam going on when you joined the military?
yes, it was hot and heavy. My parents weren't very happy when I came home and told them, but
What branch did you join?
I was Army. I'm thinking you should be Air Force.
Why is the Space Force?
How did you know you wanted to be in the army?
Well, just like I said, because all my relations served, and it was me and 3 buddies went down. We all signed up. I went Army, 2 Marines, and a a Navy, so, and I'm the only one that ever went to Vietnam.
Did you choose Army, or they appointed you?
No, I signed up for it right out of,
Was it better to sign up than get drafted?
I don't know. I mean, I had a draft number, I don't remember what it was, but. Everybody ends up at the same place, either or.
What was Nixon like?
A little short guy. No, he was pretty cool. I was pretty.
When you receive it, are you the only one who gets it, or are there a group of people?
No, when I went out there, there was, I think, 8 of us received it. Nowadays, they do it one at a time, but back then, I think there was 8 in the group I was in.
Levi?
Do you go around today helping veterans that are like seeing stuff, not as much as you have, but just like in the VA, do you go around to help past veterans?
I do a lot of, I'm not very good up in front of people like this, but I always go and try to support stuff they're doing, and you guys are pretty lucky because I don't do this very often. Maybe that's good for you, but
Well, thank you for coming today.
thank you for having us. This is a fun event every year, so we kind of look forward to coming, and you guys are always decent and very nice, so that helps a lot. Come on, back row, what's going on? Anybody?
Does it help seeing other people that receive the same award as you?
Does it what?
Does it help seeing other people like that receive the same award and like?
When I first started going to Medal of Honor functions, I was 354 of 355. There was 355 recipients then. Now we're down to 60. So we're kind of a pretty close-knit little family. We know each other, and we do quite a few events around the country every year. We get to see each other.
Do you have family?
Yes, I have a wife and 2 sons, both growing up and gone. That was a perk to see them, so that's always good. Anybody else? If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna make Mark sing and dance.
Believe me, you'll all leave.
We really just want to thank you for your service.
Hey, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
And yours also, because this is a hard job. But I think you got a pretty good bunch here.
We do. Guys, we don't get this lucky that often. If you have questions, ask this man. He knows
We're gonna
stuff.
even let you.
Oh, wow.
Did either of your sons join the military?
No, they neither one did. I don't blame them either, because it'd be pretty hard to follow this.
Okay.
Now this isn't my original. The original has my unit and everything engraved on the back, but we didn't want to. They didn't want us to lose that one, so they give us somebody. They only make so many of these a year, and they had somebody made extra, and they were selling them. So the FBI confiscated them, and
That is a thing.
and then they give us each
It's against the law.
one just to, so we wouldn't have to bring the original, but that is an original, it just hasn't been issued.
Yeah.
Now that's the Army one. There's the Air Force has a different shape, and then the Marines and the Navy got it. This one is the best, of course.
Of course.
You're a crock man too, huh? My wife didn't let me bring mine. I got a camouflage pair.
Tell you, they're the coolest. They're the coolest.
What do you guys like to do for excitement when you're not learning stuff?
Play sports.
Huh?
Sports.
What do you do?
Baseball.
Baseball. Too hot, ain't it? Swimming, it'd sound better in weather like you guys got. What do you do for fun, though?
Fish.
Fish? That's a good one.
Hunt.
Mark's a big fisher. Hunt? That's a good one. He's a big hunter, too.
Would you change anything you've done in your past?
Anything I done?
Like past jobs?
No, I'm pretty happy with the way I ended up.
Did you say 60 were left?
Yep, 60 or 61, I don't know. And a bunch of us on banana peels, so I don't know how long it's gonna be. But if you get a chance to talk to some of the other ones, because they're all pretty interesting.
The two that have come to talk to us, we really appreciate. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
This first one let us pass this around, so that's cool.
Never would have thought I could hold the Medal of Honor.
Well, it belongs to you guys anyway, so I'm just holding on to it. It's really yours.
Or the FBI's.
Yeah.
Always gotta be one.
Gotta be.
Yeah, gotta be one.
Who's the most recent person to receive the Medal of Honor? Most recent one.
Oh God,
There's two of them. I think it's two of them.
I don't know. We've got, I think about 11. Most of them are Vietnam guys, and then we got 11 out of all these new wars they started. And, I mean, I don't really know those people very well.
And out of the 60 of y'all, are some of them younger guys, like in their 40s?
Well, yeah, the ones that came out of Afghanistan, and I was the second to youngest for the group before we got all those young ones.
You're not one of the young ones, are you sure?
What's that?
You look great.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't feel great some days. But
What was boot camp like?
in high school, I ran track and done all the sports, so I was in pretty fair shape. It was kind of just a game. They kind of pushed you and see what you do, but as far as the training part, it wasn't. I mean, if you're in sports and stuff, you'd be fine. The gas chamber wasn't so good, but that's the only part that was a little hard.
What was that like?
Be in a room like this, and they'll throw in a canister of CS gas, and then you take your mask off. And try to hold your breath as long as you can. But when you start coughing and spitting, then they'll let you get out. But I think that's what they were waiting for, so you got a taste of what. And we had gas masks when I was in Vietnam, but I never put it on. They weren't like our army over there. They lived up in the jungles, and a lot of stuff was underground. We went into a hospital complex out in the jungle, and they had, because there were still bloody bandages, they must have just took off when we started coming. And I mean, they were very resourceful people.
I feel like Nam had to be the most terrifying war because they had all the booby traps, and if you had one wrong step in your life.
Yep, we had those, but now they using those great big bombs. You ain't got a chance to.
What would you say was like your most valuable tool or thing you used in all?
Probably my M16.
Oh, besides your weapon, your gun. I don't know if I can say that before.
My P38 can opener was very good. I still have it too.
Did you ever encounter any of the booby traps over in Nam?
Yep, never walked into one, but we found them, and they had a lot of little ideas to mess us up.
So the friend in the bunker with you, what happened with him?
Well, when they blew up the main bunker there, it buried, I suppose we had myself and Phil, and must have been about 6 people living in there. Phil and I got out, and then they blew that up and caved it in, so they were all right. And Phil and I both came out all right. But now, Billy committed suicide here some years back, and then my buddy Phil was working in his chicken pen and got scratched and never went in and got gangrene, and he died. So I'm the only musketeer left out of that group. What do you think? Nothing, huh? You got a crock lady over here. Oh, they're good shoes, aren't they? I wear mine out in the snow even. Well, anybody else got anything?
How did your mental health recover after?
I'm wired pretty tight, but noises and stuff bother me, but otherwise I mean, I'll bang something, put me up over the roof, and other than that I'm fine. Just a little jumpy at sounds and stuff that I don't know what's on.
Oh, you did get this. Okay. Now, what happened? You got time.
A couple more. Oh, we got time.
Okay.
Nothing to say. You own a Ford Bronco, or you just got the shirt?
Yes, I do.
Good for you. They're pretty nice vehicles.
What do you drive?
I got an old Ford pickup. 206, and the wife's got a Buick Enclave. The old truck's like me, though it's getting old and wore out.
Well, he said it's about time to move on, right? We would like to thank you again.
Thank you guys for letting time dance up a whole afternoon.
They're really sad they had to miss class for this.
Well,
They're staying late, right?
I hate to put them through all this stuff.
No, it's been a blessing. We thank you again.
You're very welcome. Maybe we'll see you next year.
All right.
And I think with the quality of kids sitting in this room right here, America's gonna be in pretty good shape.
I believe you're right.
You're our future.
Thank you, sir.
Keep learning stuff and get this world straightened out again. So now what do we gotta do?
Well, I guess they're gonna tell us.
Oh, they're waiting for us. Thank you.
Thank you.